Honoring our veterans during this week of Valor, and tonight I'm taking you aboard the Navy's USS Harry S. Truman for an exclusive experience. Videographer Judd Hewlon and I were the only local journalists on board, and we experienced something that only a fraction of the 1.2 million active personnel and 800,000 reserves get to experience. Landing on and then taking off from the centerpiece of a carrier strike group. This is the signature image from an American aircraft carrier. Jets like the F/A-18 Super Hornet racing off the flight deck and roaring into the air over the ocean waters. Catapults take those planes from 0 to 165 miles per hour in 2 seconds. Almost as impressive, watching aircraft descend from above and execute a tailhook landing, catching one of the 4 steel cables stretched across the aft part of the flight deck. From impressive to mind-blowing when you experience it, as we did on a flight from Norfolk inside the C-2A Greyhound. We circled the ship, then braced for a thrilling impact, just like these pilots and passengers experience on a much more regular basis. Very quickly after we landed, Navy escorts took us from the island or superstructure on the carrier back out onto the flight deck and seemingly into the middle of a mechanical sort of dance recital. At this point, pretty breezy up on the flight deck aboard the aircraft carrier Harry S. Truman, but one of the amazing things that anyone could see is what the Navy does in terms of flight operations, both landing and taking off from a craft like this.
Landing on board a carrier is never routine. It is a difficult thing, and there's a lot of training that takes place.
Brian Fredon is a Jacksonville University graduate, and he's the air control officer on a surveillance plane called the E-2D Advanced Hawkeye. His job doesn't include piloting the plane, but he sure seems to have an appreciation for his shipmates who do.
It's a long training process to get to where they are. They're some of the best of the world at what they do. And it never becomes routine because it is a challenge.
Commander Jeffrey Ketchum moved up the ranks as a pilot, and now as navigator for the Truman, he coordinates the precision moves of the ship connected to the tasks taking place on that flight deck.
So it's all about having wind off the bow, right, to launch the aircraft. So we not only do fixed wing ops, we do helicopter ops. For the fixed wing ops, the wind over the deck is probably the biggest thing for us.
It takes precision and experience, and it's all on display even at night. Aircraft moves into position very quickly. Every 40 seconds during daylight or every 60 seconds at night, the flight deck crew can launch 2 aircraft or recover 1. Minute by minute, the Navy using this 4.5 acres of flight deck to project power and protect American interests. So Carrier Air Wing 1 supplies the aircraft to the Truman. So you've got Super Hornets, Seahawks, Greyhounds, Hawkeyes, Growlers, and altogether about 70 combat and support aircraft there. My special reports continue tomorrow night at 10. There were thousands of service members on board the Truman, but for so many, that one connection was Jacksonville. Hear their stories of Northeast Florida, how they feel about it, and what they're doing in serving their country. That's tomorrow on the 10 o'clock news. Very excited about showing these stories for you.
They are exciting. I want to hear how you got onto the ship.
Yeah, and you just used the phrase a moment ago, the COD, so carrier onboard delivery. That's the plane that comes in, not a commercial flight, right? It's essentially a small cargo aircraft. You've done this, right?
I got to do it too, but this is a long time ago, so I wonder if it's the same.
Tiny little seats, strapped in tight.
Backwards?
Backwards, head, devices called cranials that are jamming into the side of your noggin there. Anyway.
And you're flying around above this aircraft carrier, and they say, hey, do you see down there? See that little speck down there? We're going to land on that. And then, right?
And when you see that carrier and you go, we're going to land on that, then you kind of forget about that it wasn't comfortable. You're just excited. Oh my gosh, we're going to do this.
It's incredible.
Really incredible, and really a testament to the expertise, the precision involved for all those sailors who make that happen. Pretty cool.